We're gonna run that whole thing back.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do the same
it's
thing.
Fresh.
No, I think we're good now. I think hopefully we don't have an echo.
Do you guys hear us?
They definitely hear us, whether or not we have an echo. These fucking updates, man, that they do on
Mic check. Let us know, Bun.
Mommy tuned in.
For
Love mommy.
She a real one.
Yeah.
She cares. They always care.
Yeah. My dad's watching too. He just fried.
Me too.
Same. It just hit me too.
All good. All good.
We're all good.
We're good.
All right, so let's introduce this episode and let's rock and roll.
All right. So episode 215 coming to you live with 14 Pals, Nick Theories, Philly Phil. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to all our podcasts, share this stream. We got hoodies coming out, all different colors. We're bringing back the special edition Kelly Green. We're going to have the regular ones. We're going to have black with the Kelly Green as well. What else did I talk about in there? Oh, yeah. So moving forward, we're talking about tonight starts the all football show. We're going to be all football moving forward. We will dabble in a little bit of NBA there, here and there, a little bit of baseball here and there, especially during the playoffs for the Phillies. But we're just going to be strictly football moving forward because it's what we know best. It's what we do best, and nobody can really fuck with us. And that's how we feel. And if you disagree, just check our TikTok numbers. So we're going to start off tonight, Nick, because we got a packed show. Give me your NFC playoff picture.
All right, so let's start it off. We got 7-1. All right, so I'm gonna go with the number 7 team. I have the Chicago Bears. I believe in Caleb Williams. I think he's got the it factor. They have weapons galore. I'm expecting them to win at least 9-10 games here. They should, especially with that schedule that we previewed, especially in the offseason. I think their schedule favors them. I think they have weapons. I think he could play. And yeah, I think they're making the playoffs. I think he's going to make a difference in Chicago. Number 6, I got the Green Bay Packers. I just think they're going to be a 10-7, 11-6 team. I think they're going to be average just like they were last year. They might be a game or two better, but other than that, I just think they're a good team. I think they're being overhyped. And number 5, I got the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're going to be as good. They're going to be up there. They'll be 10-7, 11-6. They're a respectful opponent. Number 4, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We talked about the Falcons and a couple pods ago. I didn't really. I started to dive into it. I didn't really believe in Raheem Morris. It doesn't seem like he doesn't have the historical data to back up the claim that the Falcons can be a divisional winner, because like his record as a head coach is really piss poor. So, and to bring new pieces in together, like it takes a special person to do that, and a special type of coach, not a coach that's been mediocre throughout his career.
And Pitts is already nicked up.
Correct. So I don't know. The Falcons gave me some weird vibes. Tampa Bay is more of a team than the Falcons. The Falcons have more talent, in my opinion, overall. But as a team, give me Tampa Bay to win this division at number 4. Number 3, I got the Niners. I think they're going to be, the same old Niners. I think they'll be a little bit less dynamic. Like I feel like they're going to take a little bit of step back, and but it won't be major, but they won't be like the shoo-in to go into the Super Bowl like they were in the last couple years. Like I feel like they're going to have a lot of chinks in their armor where people are going to exploit. Number 2, I got the Eagles, and then number 1, I got the Detroit Lions.
That's a good list, but I will say one thing that confused me, and you might have forgot the team, the Rams.
I didn't forget them. I'll talk about that later in the show as to why I'm off in this year. But right. I mean, obviously they have the talent. But
we talked about it before a little bit. But I kind of do agree with you. But so for me, for number 7, I got the Commanders. They're my sleeper team this year. I love this team. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be in the running, if not win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think Dan Quinn. I think he's a good head coach. He's definitely an upgrade over Ron Rivera. That's for sure. Then you got Cliff Kingsbury, who I think will be a good OC. I don't think he was a good head coach. And I think the Cowboys took a step back because the Cowboys didn't do anything to get better. They got weaker on the offensive line. I think they got weaker in their run game. So for me, the Commanders are the second best team in the East, as I said before, and they're going to be the 7th seed in the NFC this year. At number 6, I got the Packers. I'm kind of with you on I think they'll be an average team, but I think they're going to be better than last year. I don't know how much, but I will say I do think there is a little bit of truth to what you said with I think they're being overhyped. And I just feel like with Jordan Love, it's almost like he finished great. I get that, but he started out. It's like people forget how bad he was when he started out. Like the first 8 games don't exist because the final 9 were good. So I do look for the Packers to not be as dominant as I feel like they're being portrayed. At number 5, I have the Rams. I think they're loaded on offense. I know the loss of Aaron Donald on defense is going to hurt a little bit, but with Sean McVay, Matt Stafford healthy, Cooper Kupp healthy, Kyron Williams healthy, Puka Nacua healthy, I just think they're going to be able to score 30 points at will. So that's my rationale on them. I think they're going to be really good. At number 4, I got the Buccaneers. I don't understand the hype train on the Falcons. They had a lot of good offseason signings, and they were going for it, and I commend them for that. The Buccaneers, though, they're returning their entire team. Their offensive line got stronger. Chris Godwin's going back to the slot. Mike Evans got paid. You got Baker now who got paid, and Baker can play quarterback. He had a great year last year, 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I'm not a believer in Raheem Morris for number 1. And I just feel like Kirk Cousins is coming off of his Achilles. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. He is a regular average quarterback that plays.
And he's 36 too. Bob.
And he's older. Yeah. So, Kyle Pitts that has having some hammy issues again. I don't know if it's major or anything, but it's not great.
Right.
And they lost Jonnu Smith, who outperformed Pitts last year. So we'll see. I know we differ on London a little bit. Darnell Mooney, I mean, he's a regular. At 3, I got the 49ers. Signing Trent Williams yesterday shores up that the left side of that O-line. A little weary about Christian McCaffrey's hamstring, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams and the 49ers switch on that. But I'm still going to give the edge to the 49ers. You got Shanahan, you got Purdy, you signed Ayuk, you signed Williams, CMC's back, you got Kittle. So that's where I'm at on that. At number 2, I have the Lions. I know how they went out last year is difficult, but I feel like Dan Campbell is such a good leader of men. He's going to have them hungry, and he's going to find a way to make them tick to get back to where they were last year and complete the job this time. Because what he did last year just really sucks. And it's the inexperience, though. Risk versus reward with analytics, and hopefully he learned his lesson. And then number 1, I got the Eagles. They had the single best free agent signing of the offseason in Saquon Barkley. You have a healthy Jalen Hurts. Both of your receivers are signed. I know we lost Kelsey, but Juergens will be okay. You brought in 2 brand new coordinators. Kellen Moore has had 2 different offenses be the number 1 offense in the league. So I put that all together. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a great year. I still believe Jalen Hurts' down year is being overstated from last year. So I think the Eagles are going to come back ready to go.
I like it. I really do. I hope so. I hope you're right with the Eagles. They start off against the Packers this week too. So that'd be an interesting game. We'll cover them. But so you got the Eagles as the 1 seed.
Yes.
Okay. So now your NFC Championship game, like how do you see the playoffs shaking out from there?
So I have the Lions at the Eagles.
Okay. So I had the reverse.
I have a rematch of what I predicted last year.
Okay.
Now, 10 games in, I was feeling confident. I think the Eagles, though, can finish the job this year. And I truthfully believe the Eagles and the Lions are the 2 best teams in the NFC. So my thing is like the Packers, I don't know what to make of them, because I feel like if I say I don't believe in Jordan Love all the way, it's like, oh my God, he's still young. But if I say I really do believe in him, by the same token, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, he had 9 good games. You made him the highest paid quarterback in the league, and we're acting like Dontavion Wicks and Christian Watson and this shit is going to just blow up, and all of a sudden they're going to dominate the league. I just don't see it that way.
Okay. All right. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I have the Eagles at the Lions, and I had the Eagles winning this game.
Of course.
And I was iffy on the pick because I feel like Detroit being home, that's a tall task for the Eagles to go on the road and get a win. But if any team can do it, they have the ingredients, or they should. They got Saquon Barkley. They have 2 stud wide receivers. They have a quarterback who everybody tells me has a Super Bowl appearance. He's this, that, and the third. You better get it the fuck done. Like, I know we talk about it ain't Super Bowl or bust, but it kind of is. Like, it's not in terms of the contract. It is in terms of the moment. That's my point. Like, I think that's my point. Like, when the season progresses and we see how the Eagles can be, if they hit their ceiling, all the fans are going to be excited. So yeah, and during the season, it's going to be Super Bowl or bust. But regardless,
it's going to matter though how they play.
Sure, absolutely.
Like if you're playing well, if the Eagles are playing well, and they lose a game here, they lose a game there, that's okay. But the problem is even when the Eagles were winning last year, they never looked sharp.
Right.
They never looked sharp, and that was the problem. And that's why I said before, like, when you go into games, if they look like a cohesive unit and they're playing football and they're playing well and they're just losing, that is okay. You're not going to win every game. So that's my outlook on them. But I don't understand how anybody doesn't have the Eagles as the favorite in the NFC. They have too much talent. And whether you think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback or a top 15 quarterback, he's no worse than 15.
Yeah.
No matter what you say. And he's nowhere near 15 to begin with. But at worst, you say he's 15. You can win with that roster. The defense is going to be improved, guaranteed. It can't get worse than what it was last year.
Well, Devin White is out week 1, so
I know that.
We got Nakobe Dean stepping in, so we'll see what he could do.
Maybe he
apparently he's outperformed in during the summer, anyways. So it's probably a good thing that he is starting over Devin White.
So I want to go to you real fast with the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's your team.
That's the team.
So
I like Caleb Williams, right? I think he's really, really good. I think he has the it factor. When I watch him play and I see him scramble out of the pocket and I see him making some throws, that's not a rookie quarterback. That's somebody that, like, he has all the gifts to make every single throw. That I trust that.
So are you the Acco Bears?
I'm not the Acco Bears. I have to pick a team that I feel like that's going to be brand new.
Like the Commanders for me.
Yeah. Like there's like,
I got you.
And every year there's always a brand new team. Yeah. And I think the Chicago Bears, they have the makeup of it. They got DeAndre Swift. They signed Keenan Allen. They got Keenan Allen. They signed DJ Moore to an extension. What else? They drafted Roma Dunze. I mean, what else the fuck did they want? And then they got Caleb Williams, who's looking like, a mini Pat a little bit. You know what I mean? So, well, the hype is. But for me, I like this team. This team should be good. If this team does not win more than 8 games, I would say this season is a failure for them.
Absolutely.
Because they went all in for this. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Or you could take the perspective of, even if they didn't have a good season, maybe this would have been helpful for Caleb Williams. That's why you brought in the veteran wide receivers, because it helps him learn the game a little bit more, because those guys play with Herbert. They play with, other guys and throughout their career. So, like, I feel like they're going to take nuggets from other quarterbacks and give him the information. So I feel like those signings were strategic in a way, but they're also strategic to help them out to win now. And I think they can win now. And I think their defense improved. And I think
one of the best defenses in the league last year, the back half of the season.
Absolutely. They have a really good defense. They really do. And if they could score points, which I think this team can do, this team damn sure can win 9 games.
Who do you think finishes as the wide receiver 1? Do you think Roma Dunze passes DJ Moore or Keenan Allen?
No, I think DJ Moore is their guy.
And then who do you think's 2?
I think Dunze is going to be 2. And then I think Keenan.
Do you think it's going to?
I think it's going to work out in the favor of Keenan. Like, I think Keenan's going to play to his strengths. He's a slot guy. He's perfect in the slot.
I know, because he's shifted.
If they do that, if they put Keenan Allen in the slot, that team's going to be dangerous.
I know.
Very, very dangerous, because Caleb Williams is accurate. He's going to make mistakes.
But he's accurate enough to get him the ball smoothly.
And he's smart. That's one thing I think people take away. Like, they don't realize how smart he is. He's very smart. Every time I hear him talk and speak about football or anything, he knows what the fuck he's doing. This guy's for real. He's for real. He is.
We're going to see that when defenses aren't vanilla.
Well, yeah,
if you do all that running around shit, he's gonna get fucked up.
Well, that's not necessarily true. he's using his athletic ability to escape the pocket.
But you win games from the pocket.
Sure.
He bails. He has a tendency to bail.
Well, no, you can win games outside the pocket. You win Super Bowls in the pocket.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how you win the game.
I'm not expecting a Super Bowl this year.
No,
I'm
I'm
expecting a good performance with the weapons that he has and the hype that he has come with, and what I've seen on preseason. I'm expecting him to win 9 games because I think he could do it. And
I said that.
I genuinely believe that he can win 9 games because that team is built to win at least a playoff berth.
I think he should win, not for nothing, bro. I think you're cutting him some slack saying that he should win 9 games. All I hear from every media outlet, but here's the problem. All I hear from every media outlet, he's going into the best situation any number 1 overall pick ever has. You talk about the defense, you talk about his weapons, even his tight end, his running back, even though that DeAndre Swift shit might get a little tricky with what's going on with the whole shooting thing that came back out today. But either way, I just like they should make the playoffs for the hype that I hear about Caleb Williams. He's a mix of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. He could do this, he could do that. He's already sold you.
But I don't think the hype gets to him. I don't think he even cares about that. I think he's a baller. I think he's a generational baller, dude. Like I feel like he don't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
He doesn't.
And that's what I respect about him. Even though I disagree with it, the whole, painting the nails shit, I get it. But you know what, man? If that's what the fuck he wants to do, he's going to do it, and he's going to let you know he's doing it, and he even told you that.
And
I'm going to paint my nails every fucking game. I don't give a fuck. I love that.
I know.
I love that.
And I agree with you on that. I'm just saying and
he's a captain.
We'll see.
He got named the captain on the Bears. Obviously, it's probably by default. I feel like some of that is maybe, but who knows? He could be a legit captain for that team.
I think the other thing of it is too, I think that for me, I can't get over the fact, and this is what I mean with narratives around certain people. You would think Caleb Williams has been in the league 5 years.
No, I get it.
The way everybody talks about him. So that's what I'm just saying, where I'm like, if he's really that good, great. But
how bad does he have to be, though? He's got 3 wide receivers. He's got a good tight end.
I know that. He's got a good running game.
He just got to be a decent quarterback and then let this playmakers do the rest. He just got to put the ball in the right spot, and he could do that because he's accurate. He's proven to be accurate. You know what I mean? And they got some deep threats on that team with DJ Moore and them. Like I think they're going to put up points, and that defense is pretty good. And that defense, if they could,
let's see about Matt Eberflus too.
I agree, because
he's the first one to go. He's the first one to go.
Yeah, he's going to be the scapegoat because you got the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we will see about that. But I am interested in the Bears this week. We'll talk about that.
So the 1 and 2 picks. So Jaden Daniels, huh? So you have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I love Jaden Daniels. I really did. I wanted him in fantasy too, man. I think he's going to be awesome. I'm telling you, the Commanders are my sleeper team this year. They really are, and I got them in the 7th seed. I'm going.
I like it. I'm going with it. Team Caleb.
All right, give me your AFC predictions.
All right, going 7 through 1, starting off the top. I know you're probably going to laugh at this, but I don't really give a shit. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 7. I think people are sleeping on them. They do have weapons coming back. They got Christian Kirk, who's coming back this week, right? I think he was on the injury report. He'll be back this week. ETN's healthy. Trevor Lawrence, to me, I think is interesting. I think he's going to have a really good year. I think he's going to step up. They have the easiest schedule against the pass this season. I think that's going to work to his benefit. I think he's actually going to get better another year under Doug Peterson. I'm looking to see Trevor Lawrence make another step because that's what everybody in Jacksonville should be looking forward to that. Number 6, I got the Bengals. Nothing to be said there. I think the Bengals, I think that's a respectful seed for them. Number 5, I got the Jets. I think schedule-wise, that actually fits the bill for them. Like, their schedule is really cupcake. I like their playmakers. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. And then number 4, I got the Texans. I think they're going to be an interesting team. I don't think they're going to be as dominant as everybody thinks. I understand they got 3 wide receivers, but there's something that's weird with that team. And I feel like it's going to take a little while to click. I mean, we talked about Stephon Diggs talked about his mental space last year. He led the fucking NFL in targets, almost, damn near. He was top 4 in targets last year, and he had mental problems. So what are you going to do when you barely get the ball, when you got Nico Collins and Tank Dell, then you got Joe Mixon in the backfield? Because if I recall, Buffalo barely even ran the ball because they didn't have any running back. You know what I mean? For a solid of Diggs' career in Buffalo, they didn't run the ball. So what they did was they threw with the Diggs. Well, now they got a running back in Houston. That's going to take some plays away from Diggs. How is he going to react? I'm interested in seeing that. That's going to be a storyline throughout the season. So I think Houston's going to float, and I think they're going to hit the 4 seed though. Number 3, I got the Chiefs. The champs are the champs. They're going to be there. Bottom line. Number 2, I got the Miami Dolphins. I'm high on them this year. I think they're going to win 12 games, 12-5. And number 1, I got the Baltimore Ravens. And to me, it's just simple. They play a certain brand of football that no other team in the NFL could replicate. What they do, I tell you all the time, they run the football, they play good defense, and they control the clock, and that's what they do. And they do it better than anybody. And even when they're not even in field goal range, they could still get a field goal. Why? Because their special teams is excellent. They play excellent special teams. They play excellent defense. They keep the ball away. They have a dynamic quarterback. They have a great tight end. They got weapons. So I think Baltimore, to me, they are the toughest team that could beat the Chiefs. I think that's the only team in the AFC that could beat the Chiefs.
Who's the quarterback at a?
It's Lamar. I understand, but I'm talking about as a team. That team is legit.
I know. I had to throw that in there. Who did you have as your 7th seed?
I had the Jaguars.
The Jaguars. And who was the 6th?
Bengals.
Okay. All right. So you have the Jag 7th because I want to.
And then I have the Jets 5th.
I want to talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of wrong answers in there, but we'll
that's
get
cool.
to that. All right. So at number 7, I got the Buffalo Bills.
That's great.
Because here we go.
You trolling, bro. You trolling.
No, I'm not. I got it written down. I'm being dead serious.
Stop. You were down on the Bills all season,
and now
they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, I had a moment of clarity, and I looked within myself, and I said to myself, I said, I'm down on the Bills, and I think they're around 8, 9, maybe 10 wins because Josh Allen might be able to get them one. And I thought about it, and I'm like, you got James Cook, you got a strong running game. You got Shakir, who's returning. You got whatchamacallit with him. What's it called? Rapport. Then you got Dalton Kincaid, who's an excellent option. You got Dawson Knox, who's like that. You added Curtis Samuel. He's not bad, right? Mm-hmm. You got Keon Coleman, big body receiver that can go get the ball. And then you got Josh Allen, number 17, throws for 40 touchdowns a year.
Damn right.
So for me, when I think of that, I'm like, if you got a quarterback that throws for 40 touchdowns a year and throws for 4,000, 5,000 yards, he's got to make the playoffs. He's got to make the playoffs. So I believe in 17. At number 6, we got the Dolphins.
That's by design.
Nah.
It's so
bad. At number 6, we got the Dolphins. For me, the Dolphins are like that team. You know they're going to be a pain in the ass, but I just don't think they got it in them to go to distance.
Okay.
Like, I don't like at some point, Waddle's going to get nicked up with something stupid, a hammy or something like that.
They're the 6th seed?
I got the Dolphins at 6.
All right.
At number 5, I got the Baltimore Ravens. I think people are severely underestimating what Mac McDonald meant to that defense. And you're bringing in a guy who's worked his way up the ranks. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's worked his way up the ranks, and it's a first year. He's a first-year defensive coordinator, installing game plans, going through film and shit. So I don't think they would hire him if they didn't believe in him. But for me, I think the Ravens take a small step back this year, in addition to Burrow coming back and being healthy. Number 4, I got the Texans. Look, do I think CJ Stroud is going to light the world on fire? I don't. Do I think he's going to do better than last year? I do, because I think he's going to incrementally get better, because CJ Stroud is just like that. You can just tell he's got it, that what you're looking for.
Oh, he's great
in a quarterback.
For sure. Absolutely.
But I think people are also, the other thing that gets me with that is, like, you have Mixon in the backfield. You have Dalton Schultz that nobody talks about anymore. On the outside, you're going to have Diggs, shaking my head. You're going to have Diggs, you're going to have Nico, and you're going to have what's-his-face in the slot, Tank Dell, who's good. I think if Diggs doesn't have 160 targets like he did last year, and I still think he's going to, I don't think they're going to get cut in half, but around 100 targets, I guarantee you, in a tight game with the game on the line, he's going to Stephon Diggs before he's going to Nico Collins. Stroud, that is.
Why?
Because Diggs has proven it. He's been there. He's been in big moments. Come on, bro.
In a big moment, I saw him last year miss a fucking goddamn wide open touchdown.
Josh didn't put enough touch on it.
It
I'm
went
fucking
right
with
through
you. I
his
know.
fucking hands.
I know that, but that doesn't negate him for the last 5 years being a
No.
top 5 wide receiver.
No, but you are what your last product was. That
Oh
was his
my
last
God.
product, was a drop ball in a big moment. So that's where I'm leaning on. That's the bottom line. Am I wrong?
Yes,
How am I wrong? Did he ever do anything to win a Super Bowl for them? Did he get them to the Super Bowl? No,
bro.
he didn't.
Against the Bengals, whose fault was
I've
that?
watched Stephon Diggs not do shit in the playoffs.
Who's his quarterback throwing him the ball? He can't get him the ball.
Stop it. Stop, bro. That's crazy.
So you're blaming the Bills' failures the last 3 years on Stephon Diggs.
I'm not blaming it on Stephon Diggs, but I'm just saying that I feel like sometimes he comes up small in big moments. I really do. I 100% believe that. I can't name one Stephon Diggs moment where I'm like, yo, remember that play when Stephon Diggs scored that touchdown outside the Vikings, the miracle, right?
Yeah.
Outside of that play on the Bills, can you point to a play where you're like, yo, remember that play that Stephon Diggs made? You can't. Why? Because he doesn't have a defining moment.
Bro.
He don't.
So you don't think he was ever a top receiver with the Bills?
100% he was. He was a top 5 wide receiver. He just didn't have a defining moment. You can be a top 5 wide receiver, but not have a defining moment.
And that, I'm not even going to dispute that. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but to minimize him like that is insane. Because here's the thing.
I'm not minimizing him. I'm
just going to say, because here's the thing. You can't say that you're going off of his lasting impression in one voice, and then in the next voice turn around and say, well, Josh Allen isn't going to make the playoffs because he doesn't have any wide receivers. Well, by that notion, last year he didn't have any wide receivers. If you're saying that Diggs last year was already not like that.
They negated the last 6 weeks of the season. He was completely cut from the offense.
He was.
I
know that. It was weird.
That.
I know.
There's nothing I could do about that, but that was just the bottom line.
And what was the record?
So
5-1. So Josh can do it.
But what was the result? He got chipped away. So,
but that was a blow up between him and Josh. You saw it during the Bengals game when he was yelling at him.
Well, that was 2 years ago. I mean, look, that
was the breaking point, though.
Yes and no. I mean, sure, of course it was, but at the same time, that could have been the start of it. You know what I mean? And then
that was the start of it. We said it. If we go back and look at that episode, I guarantee you, we talked about that because I remember saying that's the beginning of the end.
Sure, absolutely.
I always say this, dude. When you are with like your buddy, your homie, your guys, you would never ever scream at them like that in public.
I would never do that.
I defend you here, and then when we get home, be like, "Yo, by the way, dude, that was like really stupid.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have did that."
Yeah, and you said that too. Like literally on the episode, I remember the exact episode.
I may have, but I'm just saying, like the way he disrespected Josh, that was the end. And Josh is just sitting there taking it, pause. But he's just sitting there like, damn, as Stephon's going off on him because he had like 2 targets because they were getting the doors blown off of him.
Right.
Now, is Stephon wrong in that? Look, I understand the passion, the emotion, but I don't think he had to do him like that. They had great years together. But I think people are underestimating the impact that Diggs is going to provide. Especially that you have to put eyes on Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and worry about Joe Mixon. And Dalton Schultz isn't trash.
I think Stephon's going to eat. I just don't think how much is he going to eat.
He's playing for his money, and a new deal.
In fairness to him, winning does cure everything.
Of course it does.
So, but also Buffalo wasn't losing either when he was there. So I don't really know. But maybe a new environment will serve him well, and I hope it does. And I agree with Tom with this comment. I mean, he's got a very competitive edge to him, and his emotions get the best of him. I'll take that every game, and I agree with that. But there's a certain place and time where you could do those things. But I do agree with being super competitive. I was like, that was fucking nuts.
Well, I mean, look at Brady.
Yeah. I mean, I'm competitive like that, so I understand it. But like, I'm not the type to show up my teammate. There's a
difference between being fiery and getting your guys ready, and a difference between disrespecting your teammate.
Right.
And that's where the line was crossed. All right, so that was the Texans. At number 3, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they win that division. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, we know what he is. At best, he's the second best quarterback in the league. At worst, he's the third best quarterback in the league. Jamar Chase apparently was suited up today, but with or without him, you already know what Joe can do with T. Higgins. And then we'll see what his run game is. So I just love the Bengals. At number 2, I got the Jets. Again, another team that's being underestimated. The team won 7 games last year with fucking Zach Wilson. And you're adding Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers has 1 Achilles and is 70 years old. He's better than Zach Wilson. And that defense isn't going anywhere. If anything, they're going to be better. You're returning Saleh, and you're returning the whole core. I mean, minus Bryce Huff, but, You know what I'm saying? That's not going to take that defense and just make them slump totally. At number 1, I got the Chiefs. Until proven otherwise, this just is what it is. They got better weapons. And for me, it's you got Andy, you got Patrick Mahomes, Hollywood Brown is going to come back. Xavier Worthy, I think, is going to be awesome. Me and Spanish were talking about him, saying he reminds us of like Deshaun Jackson. He's just going to be a crazy deep threat. I think Isaiah Pacheco has a big year. I'm really high on him this year. They just signed Perrine as a backup. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He's an awesome second running back. So
Andy Reid will know how to use him too. That's for sure.
He's going to use him. He's going to use him perfectly as a gadget guy. Perfectly as a gadget.
So where do you have the Ravens?
5th.
The
first wild card.
So you got the Dolphins, and your second seed is who?
The Jets.
The Jets. So you had the Ravens. I mean, you had the Jets playing the Dolphins week 1 then, right? Or the 7th, because they're your 7th. I mean, I'm sorry. You had the Jets playing Buffalo week
1
in the wild card.
Yeah, and we take care of business there.
So you think the Jets beat Buffalo?
Oh, absolutely. The Bengals will be playing the Jets in the AFC Championship game.
And then you got the 3 seed is the Bengals. You have them playing against the Dolphins.
They will handle business.
And they will handle business. Okay.
Because the gap between Tua and Joe Burrow is enormous.
Okay. And then you have your 4th and 5th seed. Who?
Texans and Ravens.
Wow. A rematch of last year.
And I would take the Texans in that because last year, both games, the Ravens dog walked them.
I think they would do the same. That defense
they may,
real,
you know, I mean, obviously I would love that game because, I mean, obviously for most,
that would be a good game though.
Most nights I watch the Ravens, I root for them because I'm a Lamar fan. So like I always want Lamar to do well. I would root for the Ravens there, but I don't have any skin in that game. Like I would be happy. It wouldn't matter to me who won that game.
Mm-hmm.
It would just, I would like to see Lamar. But yeah, I think that's a rematch for them.
Man, look, you're really high on the Jets. The number 2 seed, really?
Yeah.
That would be an amazing season.
Well, what's
for the
even
Jets.
And the
honest
thing
to God,
what?
That would be an amazing season for them.
Oh, well, it's going to be amazing because then to follow that up, the Jets are going to beat the Bengals in the AFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl because it's Jet up.
This is fucking insane. What?
AR8.
Really?
The Jets are going to the Super Bowl.
You got the Jets in the Super Bowl?
They're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. The Jets are that good.
What's the formula?
The formula is going to be you don't need Aaron Rodgers to throw for 40 touchdown passes. You don't need Aaron Rodgers to throw for 30. Now, I think he's going to. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing with the biggest chip on his shoulder since probably his rookie year or sophomore year. The way everything went down 2 years ago with him getting drugged through the media, the COVID shit, all of that, then last year tearing his Achilles, I just think he's going to be on a revenge tour. And here's the thing. When Aaron Rodgers has a defense, it's different. It's different for him. It is.
The Jets is fucking crazy, dog.
It's going to be right, though. That's the problem.
Not
the problem. That's the secret.
Honestly, if that happened, man, that would be, wow. You should go literally, like you would be God if that happens.
I'm telling you, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl this year.
And
the Jets are going to the Super Bowl.
So you got the Jets and the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I almost had the Jets.
What's the odds on that?
I don't know. That's a good idea. But I will say this. I think I almost leaned Packers. I almost leaned Jets at Packers to solidify that storybook ending because I'm a narrative guy. And I think stories have a funny way of doing shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be really upset if it's the Packers and the Jets. But Aaron Rodgers facing his old team.
That would be cool as shit. That would be fire.
I know. I should have stuck with that.
But
I can't help it, dude. I'm an Eagles fan.
That's a scenario.
And I
didn't think about that.
And the Eagles, I'm always gonna root for the Eagles.
Man.
But my secondary Super Bowl would be Jets at Packers. Or Jets versus Packers, excuse me.
Okay.
Who's your AFC chip?
All right. So my AFC chip is the Chiefs versus the Ravens. In Baltimore, I think the Ravens get their revenge. I think this is gonna be the year for the Ravens. For sure. They have a good team, bro. They have Derrick Henry. He's going to be a fucking monster. He's going to be a fucking animal. You know who Derrick Henry is? Do you want me to show you clips of a fucking guy stiff-arming a grown-ass man into the fucking dirt? Like he was a goddamn ragdoll? That's who the fuck they're getting? on top of the number one rushing offense.
You got to the point last week where you were about to jump across the table and rip my head off.
It has nothing to do with Lamar. It has everything to do with what they acquired and who they are as a team. It has everything what they are as a team and their identity. It has nothing to do with Lamar.
So they make the Super Bowl. It has nothing to do with him.
I'm not saying it had nothing to do with Lamar. I'm just saying that's not. Lamar is not based on my prediction. Their team as a makeup. I like Lamar. You think I hate him. I just don't think he's a pocket passer. And that's fucking true. Mm-hmm. He hasn't thrown for 4,000 yards.
Don't need to.
So would you take Jared Goff or would you take Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson.
But why? Because the stats will tell you Jared Goff absolutely fucking kicks the door on fucking Lamar.
And that's why, what have I always said?
And that's my point.
And what has been my consistent thing for the last 3.5 years?
But the thing is
stats lie.
They don't, because if you watch Jared Goff, he's damn near impressive. He's fucking awesome.
Nobody said he wasn't.
We'll get to that. Anyway, I got the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
They're good. They're a good team. It's their year. It's their year, bro.
No, write that down.
It's their year. What? It's their fucking year.
Write down they're good.
They're good.
It's their year.
So you got the Ravens versus the Lions?
I got the Ravens versus the Eagles.
Oh, I thought you said you had the Lions beating.
That's going to be an awesome Super Bowl.
I thought you said you had the Eagles, the Lions beating the Eagles and going back to the Super Bowl.
What?
I can go in the Super Bowl. I thought you said that.
Nah, I had the Eagles. I had the Eagles. I'm sorry. I had the Eagles winning that game in Detroit.
Awesome.
And I hated the pick because I think Detroit is well suited to win that game, obviously, at home. But I think the Eagles have experience. So I got the Eagles and the Ravens.
All right.
Is there something wrong?
I can't believe after all this you picked the fucking Ravens.
I just don't think it's crazy. I think it's logical. I think what I'm saying is everything. It's fucking. I'm talking ball, bro. I'm talking. You run the ball with a fucking bull like Henry, and you got a dynamic quarterback that can run like that, and he can throw too. Not like a pocket passer, but he could do it. Lamar can do it. Lamar can throw.
I know he can.
I'm just saying consistently. That's my biggest worry. But he doesn't have to do that in the playoffs because you got a fucking bull in Henry. Henry beat their ass by himself. And now you get him to join your team?
That's true.
That's going to be hard to stop, bro. And especially when it's cold as fuck, January. Nobody's going to want to play the Ravens because they play good defense.
Good luck
hit you
chasing
hard.
Lamar around and then trying to tackle.
They're going to run down your throat with fucking Henry. And then you got to chase Lamar around. That's going to be a headache. If they stay healthy, that's going to be a dynamic duo. I really believe that. I truly do. That's a beast over there, bro. That's not a regular running back. I know everybody talks about his age and shit, but when I watch him, he didn't lose a step.
He didn't slow down last year.
He didn't slow the fuck down.
They were just horrible.
Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he got a foot injury. He's going to slow down." Blah blah blah. He's reaching 30 years old. The fuck he didn't.
This is his 30-year-old season, right? He's 30 now, I think.
Yeah, he'll be turning 31.
I like it. I mean, I hope you're right. I mean, if Lamar can get a Super Bowl, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, and he still probably will get in the Hall of Fame.
I know.
Without the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Truthfully, he's a
two-time MVP.
Well, he's Hall of Fame talent. He's got Hall of Fame talent. I don't hate Lamar.
Yeah,
it's a dumb narrative. He shouldn't have won the MVP. I still stand on that.
Yeah,
but overall, he's a good player. I have him on my fantasy team. I drafted him last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Smart guy.
Wow, he fell to me.
You're learning.
JA17 wasn't available.
You're learning.
Well, 17 left.
Learning.
Left.
All right. All right, let's go to our Super Bowl predictions.
All right.
You want to go first or me?
I got the Eagles versus the Ravens. With all saying that with the Ravens, I'm a homer. I'm going to take the Eagles. I got Jalen Hurts to win the MVP. I think they do it this time. The Eagles have the team. There ain't no fucking excuse. There ain't no excuse. You got fucking A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard, Jahan Dotson, Barkley. You got the defense. You got fucking weapons on this team. No way in hell the Eagles should win the Super Bowl. They had the most balanced roster. Their team is fucking unbelievable. Their offensive line is one of the best in the league. I know they lost Kelsey, but they still got Lane Johnson, who's a goddamn wall. They still had their guys there, minus Kelsey and Fletcher Cox. This team is going to be fine. I truly believe that. You still have Jordan Davis, he was a rookie, right? He's going to be a second-year player. You got young guys on this roster that I think are going to step up, and I think they're going to make the difference on defense. I like this Eagles team. They better fucking win. That's why I'm saying it's Super Bowl or bust for them, because ain't no way in hell with this fucking team you don't at least go there. You got to win that shit. And I think Jalen Hurts, he played excellent in the Super Bowl, and I think he's going to do it again. I think he wins the MVP.
I hope you're right, because I have the Jets versus the Eagles, and I have the Jets beating the Eagles, Aaron Rodgers winning Super Bowl MVP, and riding off into the sunset with his Achilles to do his ayahuasca. I think the Jets win the Super Bowl this year.
And then he retires?
And then he retires.
No way.
And he goes into the sunset.
You think he retires after winning?
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
He's 2-0 in Super Bowls. And remember, everything matters about how many losses you have in the fucking Super Bowl or any type of finals.
It won't matter to him, though, because if he wins one with the Jets, it won't matter if he lost the next year. It won't matter.
If he wins one, well, when he wins the Super Bowl this year, it's going to completely change the narrative of his career.
Absolutely.
It's going to completely change.
Aaron Rodgers literally will be considered a top 3 quarterback of all time if he wins with the Jets. You could
probably argue that. Definitely top 5.
At least top
definitely
3.
Top 5.
At least top 3.
Well, you got to understand that. I mean, most people, I don't have this yet, but most people have Brady, Mahomes, and Montana. I have Brady, Manning, and, I'll leave that up for debate. But, I mean, I guess you could say Mahomes just purely off my eye because he's fucking amazing. But I still think that Mahomes needs to do something to supplant Peyton Manning. Like, I'm not going to move Peyton Manning out of the way like he was just some fucking whatever. That's how I feel.
It's crazy that we're talking about a quarterback that has literally under 10 years of experience in the top like that. That's pretty remarkable. He's been to 6
AFC Championship games. He's got 3 Super Bowls. Bro, it's really remarkable what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's crazy because I said before, like, if somebody set the over and under right now at Mahomes Super Bowls at 5.5, no, and look, I know it's hard to win the Super Bowl. Nobody's taking under and feeling comfortable about that. And I said for him to get into the GOAT conversation, he would probably need 5. But this year is the most important. I think this year is going to wind up being one of the most important years of Patrick Mahomes' career. Because if Patrick Mahomes three-peats, that is something Brady never did. However, I know Brady beat him in an AFC Championship game. I know Brady beat him in a Super Bowl. But he was able to do a three-peat that's never been done. So that will just be an angle that you could argue if you're arguing Brady versus Mahomes, which it will most likely be within the next 5 years.
I agree.
To be honest, because the Chiefs aren't going anywhere. And as long as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes stay together, they're always going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're going to lose Kelsey eventually, but again, they're going to find somebody else because that's what they do. They just plug and play. That team, they find weapons. They really do. They know how to build a roster over there.
That's a great point, Tom. He would be with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. That's a great stat. I love that stat.
Yeah.
Because that's also going to go into play because Brady also has that on Mahomes right now, too. He did it for 2 different teams. That's something that Manning has in his tuck. You went to the Colts and then you went to the Broncos. And what's crazy is...
Well, Brady did it with 2 different conferences.
Yeah. Yeah. And a head coach
same
that
thing.
everybody...
2 teams, different. It's the same fucking
But everybody loved Bruce Arians, but Bruce Arians never got over the hump.
Right.
The weird thing about Peyton is when Peyton won with the Broncos, like the year he won, like the year he played versus the Seahawks. That sucks.
That was the year they were supposed to win because that would have cemented him as, whoa, that was one of the best seasons of all time. Correct.
I agree. And the issue is, though, that the year he won the Super Bowl against the Panthers, he didn't have a good year. He got benched. He got hurt. He got hurt, and then they kept him on the bench with Brock Osweiler.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put him back in, and he went on the playoff run. Now, look, he was a shell of himself, but he did it. I don't give a fuck. That was my guy, and I sat through enough painful losses in the playoffs.
A win's a win. Who gives a fuck?
A win's a win. So that's how I look at that with Aaron Rodgers. He has so much to gain. And I don't think he has anything to lose.
I agree with you.
I think he has nothing to lose because everybody's talking about how he can't do it now.
But that's what makes me feel like the chip on the shoulder. Like I just don't. Do you think it's that large where you're thinking like I feel like he's playing with house money?
Who?
I feel like Aaron Rodgers is playing with house money here.
He absolutely
because at this point he got hurt the first season. Now the expectations have dipped a little bit.
And
in my opinion, they have.
And he has a built-in excuse.
Why?
Coming off an injury.
I know, but
that's severe of an injury.
Yeah, but I don't think the excuse is built in.
I think they would be able to blame that. Like the hardcore Aaron Rodgers supporters.
Okay, I got you.
Like the Marcoses of Trump.
Okay, I see what you mean. So, okay. All right. I don't hate that at all.
That's just kind of how I feel on that. Let's go down our list for awards this year. NFL MVP.
All right. You want to go first?
Yeah.
I got it. Who's your MVP?
Joe Burrow.
Wow.
He
Okay.
stays healthy all year. He's going to be MVP. I got Joe doing his thing this year.
Okay.
And I hope so because I have him in fantasy.
All right. Well, my MVP, I took a bet this morning. I looked at the odds. I was cooking last night. Did some digging. I mentioned this guy's name earlier. His name is Mr. Jared Goff. That's going to be the NFL MVP this year at plus 2,500 odds. Jared Goff has thrown for more than 4,000 yards 4 times since he became a starter in 2017. In every season since Jared Goff has been the starter for Detroit, his passing yards and his touchdowns have increased every single season. Last year, he threw for 4,575 yards and 30 touchdowns, right? He was second last year in passing yards, and he was 4th last year in passing touchdowns total. And check this. That wasn't even his best season yet, though. His best season was in 2018 with 4,688 passing yards with 32 touchdowns, right? And then we talked about it earlier. Like this team's leader is no stranger to adversity, right? Jared Goff, he lost the Super Bowl, failing to score a touchdown against the Patriots, right? And with one of the best offenses in 2018. Jared Goff was traded to Detroit to die. And what did he do? He took that city from the ashes and fucking rose them up, right? He got people like me picking them as the number 1 seed right now. That's how crazy that is, right? So all in all, this guy is getting better and better and better as he is developing his career in Detroit. This is going to be the year where they absolutely go bananas. And that is why I have Jared Goff as the MVP and my NFL Offensive Player of the Year to mix with that, because he's going to be part of that, is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Caesar?
Amon-Ra St. Brown at plus 1,600 is an absolute fucking steal. Since he's came in the league in 2021, he has literally improved every single year along with Jared Goff, right? That's fucking hard to do when your first year you had 90 catches. What did he do? The next year, 106. Then he had 108 or something like that. He increased every single season. He's gotten better. If he stays healthy, he's got the potential to absolutely go bonkers, to go for 1,800 yards and have literally double-digit touchdowns this year. And I think that's going to happen. They got camaraderie. They've been together for years now. I think they're only going to get better. I love Detroit this year.
And the other thing is,
that's my NFL MVP, man. Jared Goff. Book it.
The other thing is, too, that's amazing.
Book that shit, man.
That's amazing. That's at least 30,000.
Book that shit.
The other thing is, too, the offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, turned down a job to return unfinished business. So I think that also helps them, too. I would love for that to happen, though. I think you're out of your mind.
Why?
Jared Goff is the MVP.
There's nothing wrong with that. Look at his stats, bro. This guy's stats are unbelievable.
He don't have a story. Does he have a storyline?
If you
know how important that is. I'm serious.
Absolutely.
You know how important a storyline is.
Right. And that's why I have Detroit as the 1 seed, because he's going to get them to the 1 seed.
Okay.
So that ties into it.
I got you.
Notice I didn't have them in the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah.
Winning it or going to the Super Bowl. Why? Because the NFL MVPs, they never really get to the Super Bowl or win it.
I think the last one was Kurt Warner.
No, the last one was 2022 with Mahomes. Mahomes won it. He was the last one to break it. But outside of that was 1999 with Warner.
Oh, all right. So I missed Mahomes.
Yeah, it was 99 with Warner. So think about that. That's why that went into my evaluation. Like that always plays out. Guys like Patrick Mahomes could do it. Guys like Jared Goff, I think he's a good quarterback. Is he great? I don't know. But I haven't really seen him be great in the Super Bowl. I want to see a fucking guy like him go in the Super Bowl and dominate. Then he'll get the proper respect. Outside of that, the regular season, he's not going to get the respect. Although I think that he's the most underrated quarterback in the league. And it ain't even close.
He absolutely is.
Like, it's literally not even close. His stats they're just ridiculous. And if you had Jared Goff on a lot of teams that have weapons, you would probably have a really good chance of winning the Super Bowl. Because he's like that. He is. If you look at remember the Rams teams, 2017, 2018, he was fucking lighting it up. He was going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, scoring fucking 50.
The Mexico
They were
game.
in the 50s.
That was awesome.
Why? Because he could play quarterback. Jared Goff is a good quarterback, and I think the disrespect ends this year.
I hope so. I hope you're right, because I like Jared Goff. My offensive player of the year, I have Saquon Barkley. I think people are underestimating what it's like to run behind a top 5 offensive line at worst, coming from running behind the bottom 5 offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
He has the best skill players around them that he's ever had. He has the best quarterback by far that he's ever had. And I think Saquon Barkley this year, I genuinely think he could lead the league in touchdowns.
How many do you think he has? Season end.
13, 14, something like that.
Wow.
15. Like like he's going to damn near score a touchdown a game.
Dude.
And the reason I say that is because I don't think the tush push is going to be as prevalent this year. I just don't see it. Like, you don't need to put that wear and tear on Jalen when you have Saquon sitting back there. You just don't have to do it. And like my thing is too, is again, I keep going back to this. He's one of the best pass catching running backs in the league. Like with Kellen Moore's offense of scheme where he could do the rollouts and get people in fucking motion. And then you got Saquon just doing a little out and up real fast and Jalen dumps it to him. I think it's going to be a lethal combo. I think Saquon Barkley this year is going to be fucking crazy. That's why I wanted him in fantasy so bad. I only got him in one league. But
So let me ask you a question. Over under 6.5 rushing touchdowns total for Saquon Barkley.
it's a smash over, but that line scares me. Will make me say under.
That scares the shit out of me,
That line
bro.
makes me say under, but I think that they're going off of the tush push, and I just don't think that the tush push is going to be as, like I said, as prevalent as it was in years past.
I agree with you.
But
And
6.5 is fucking insane.
So
he might have that in the first 5 weeks.
I agree with you. So 1,000 yards over under Saquon, 1,000 yards rushing. That's his line.
Over.
I think that line is so disrespectful. I expect Saquon to get 1,200. He should get 1,200. And if he doesn't get 1,200 behind this line, the Eagles have made a big mistake.
No, come on, bro. Why you always got to do that?
You got a top line. You just said it yourself. If you have a dynamic running back like that, you got a top line. Your ass better be running for 1,200.
I know.
You better be getting 80 yards at least a game.
He probably will have that. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't foresee him not having that.
He should be doing that because we're paying his ass to do that, and he should do that because he's got the talent around him to do it. The system fits him. He better deliver. I think he's going to, though. I think he's going to have 1,200 yards, and I think he's going to have 10. I think he's going to have double-digit touchdowns. Rushing rushing plus receiving. I'm not going rushing. I'm going rushing plus receiving. I don't know the rushing. I think the push is a question mark.
Yeah, like I said, it's how I put it in my head was the way I just explained it. I don't think the tush push is coming back the way it was. You also lost the biggest reason of the tush push. Like, yeah, it helps that your quarterback could squat 600 pounds. I get that. But it was the way that Kelsey was able to get under the linemen. That's what it was that made it impossible to get through. It was Kelsey.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I don't think that that's going to be the move this year.
The Eagles just please, whatever the fuck you do not take Saquon Barkley out of the fucking game for stupid ass game. I can't take
if that happens, I'm not being an Eagles fan. No,
it would be absolutely dumb as fuck. You signed this guy for all this money. He was a big free agent acquisition. Run the goddamn ball down these fucking throats.
Tom said, what about all-purpose yards? Good question.
Yeah, well,
all-purpose, he should probably have 1,700, to be honest.
In total?
Yeah, like running and catching.
So if you go to, I would say he should probably about 15
or 16,
at least 500 receiving yards.
So if you have 1,205, it's 1,700 yards.
1,700, I would say.
Yeah,
I think that would be a really good.
I think it's manageable.
I think it's a good season for him. But I think he was brought here to run the football, not just so much catch the ball. So when we're giving you the ball to run through the tackles, that's where we got to see the improvement. Because last year we couldn't do that.
The other thing is too, and people have to realize this: if his numbers go up, Jalen's are definitely going to come down.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing: Jalen Hurts isn't a sit in the pocket and pick you apart dynamic thrower of the football. Jalen Hurts' purpose, I guess you could say, is he needs to be on the move and getting the defenses on their toes where you have to account for his legs. And that's okay. That's part of Jalen Hurts' game. But the other thing is, again, it also is now taking pressure off of him. He doesn't have to do all of that. Like when you have Saquon Barkley sitting back there and you're already a good quarterback, like you don't have to do extra.
But that's the thing, though. That kind of worries me, too, because I don't want Jalen Hurts to hesitate to make a play.
He's not going to.
Go to make the play.
He is.
Don't rely on Saquon behind there. Just go make the fucking play, man, because you could do it.
And the other thing is, too, is pass protection. Saquon's good at pass protection.
Absolutely. That's
those are
huge.
Those are all things that are going to help him. Jalen Hurts is going to get under center. He's going to have time when he's in the shotgun and there's motion. There's going to be creativity to the offense.
Jalen Hurts under center is going to be a weird sight.
I know.
That's going to be really weird.
I can't wait for it, to be honest,
because
like,
he didn't do much of that in college.
I know.
So when he transitioned to the pros, I don't think I've ever seen Jalen Hurts under center unless he was doing a tush push.
The tush push.
Unless or take a knee.
Yeah.
That is the only time.
I'm surprised they didn't go in the shotgun.
So do you think he's going to feel comfortable off the rip?
I do.
That's a big transition now.
I do. There's too much talent.
I agree.
There's too much talent. They're just good. And then, like, we didn't even mention this guy, but Dallas Goedert.
I brought him up, but he was a sidebar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Dallas Goedert can play. Dallas Goedert isn't a bum. I'm not saying he's the best ever, but he's not a bum.
No, I don't think he's a bum.
You know
I think he can be utilized correctly. I think he could be a really good tight end. I think he could be a top 7 tight end in this league.
That's what pissed me off last year. Was I knew 3 games in, I'm like, yo,
I made a mistake.
I swung and missed.
Yeah.
I knew it, dude, because I'm like, the dude's running 3-yard outs and blocking. There were no seam routes of him going up the middle where Jalen could put a touch pass on him and make him run. There was no utilization. For who do you have for your defensive player of the year? Because it's funny, you have all that firepower for the Lions on the offense. I have Aiden Hutchinson winning the defensive player.
Damn, so they're loaded.
I love Aiden Hutchinson, dude. I really do, man. I love Aiden Hutchinson.
I think he'll get his proper due, but I think this year this guy needs to get his proper due, and that's Mr. TJ Watt.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, he's due. He's 100% due. He deserves it, dude. This guy is the best. He's one of the best players in the league. Not just defense. I'm just talking totality. What he does for the Pittsburgh Steelers win-loss record is unbelievable.
I know.
When he's not there, they're ass. When he's there, they win. That's the bottom line. That's not a coincidence. The sample size is about 10 games too. They're about like 9-1. That's not a bullshit stat. He means a lot to Pittsburgh and their defense. That is a defensive player of the year MVP in my book. And look, that's all predicated on how Pittsburgh is going to be. Pittsburgh could be garbage because their defense could be out there for 40 minutes of the game because their offense can't get a first down. That could very well happen.
I was going to say that's entirely plausible.
But TJ Watt will have his opportunities. I think he's going to get. I think he's going to have. I think he can get 20 sacks this year. I think he's going to get 20 sacks, and I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Damn, Mike will be happy about that.
Yeah.
Who's your offensive rookie of the year?
Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is for real. I think he's going to really show out, and I think him taking the Bears to the playoffs is going to solidify the Rookie of the Year.
I don't hate it, but you know who I got. I got Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year because he's going to take the Commanders to the 7th seed in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He's going to finish 2nd in the NFC East. They're going to win about 9 or 10 games, and that'll be enough. Like I said, dude, with Jaden Daniels, there's just something about him. There's just something about him that I fuck with, and that's really the only way to say it.
He gives me like Lamar vibes,
but I think he could pass.
Yeah, but I don't know, just like his swagger. Just
he knows how to run around. And the thing is, too, and I like this, it's been quiet. Head in the book. They're learning. The other thing I think is, too, is somebody that's going to have a huge year, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I like him.
This is probably, when's the last time he had a good quarterback throwing him the ball? Heineke was garbage there. Wentz was garbage there, except for like the first 2 games. After that, we was throwing for 50 yards a game. But it's when has Scary Terry had a game? I think the backfield's being underrated too with Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler.
I think Austin Eckler is insanely slept on.
Austin Eckler
it's crazy.
Is going to take pressure again, similar to what Saquon is going to do for Jalen. Eckler is going to do that for Jaden because he can dump it off, and with his legs, come on, bro, they're going to be like that. So I got Jaden Daniels all the way. And then who's your comeback player of the year?
My comeback player of the year. Shit, I don't even have that written down. Fuck.
Fuck him, man. How you write the topics and you fuck up?
Comeback player, you go.
Comeback player of the year, Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert is not going to have the gaudy, flashy ass numbers from the past where he needs to throw for 5,000-6,000 yards, 40 touchdowns.
Oh, mine's easy. Go ahead.
I think Justin Herbert is going to have a good, efficient year. And I almost had them in the playoffs over the Bills. But the problem is like when I see 17 in the red, white, and blue, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting 40 touchdowns a year, and I'm going for it.
Hey,
Like
yo,
that's
Philly
what it is.
Phil, raise his mic up,
And
bro.
that was why I couldn't pick against them. Is just so for me, Justin Herbert, and he's like plus 4,500
You're a troll.
to win that. So when I see that, and then I'm following up with the coach of the year is going to be his head coach, and that's why he's going to be like that. He's going to do great because of his head coach, because Jim Harbaugh is fucking awesome. Jim Harbaugh is awesome. The Chargers will be a title contender within the next 3 years. And I can't wait to watch the Chargers and the Chiefs go to battle in that division.
Wow.
Fuck with me.
Fuck with me is crazy. All right. So comeback player of the year. I'm surprised that you didn't pick this guy. This is your guy, Aaron Rodgers. Coming off the ACL, or the Achilles. Absolutely.
That's fair.
That's comeback player of the year. He's jet up, baby. He's fucking AR8. AR8 is going to win comeback player of the year because I think Garrett Wilson is really fucking good. And I think he's really going to help Aaron Rodgers like get a lot more comfortable and take those chances down the field, because you have a special talent like Wilson. You could do that.
He's going to put it on him
He's
too.
going to put it on him.
You know
like,
that.
I feel like that connection is going to be really special. So I have AR8 as my comeback player of the year. AR8.
You believe, see, bro, like you're starting to believe in me.
I'm
so proud of you, bro.
Well, I went through their schedule. If Aaron Rodgers can't make the playoffs, he got to hang it up, guys.
Nah, bro, they're going to
hang it up. If he can't make the playoffs this year, you got to hang it up.
They're winning 13 games.
I'm just saying, if he can't make the playoffs this year,
13.
You got to hang it up.
They're making the fucking playoffs again.
It's gonna be
Aaron Rodgers at worst is worth 2-3 wins.
Yeah, I mean,
at worst.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. He's not like on like this Russell Wilson spiral.
That's
like,
what I'm talking about. And
I'm with you.
But I feel like people are almost like, when I hear and read things, it's almost like I feel like Aaron Rodgers, people are acting like Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Wilson. That's not the case.
I don't think that, though. I don't think anybody thinks that. I just think that the age factor plays a part. Yeah, and he's on the Jets, bro. It's just historically bad. So it just, the whole mixture of it just smells like shit. It just does. It smells like crash landing.
Not when the 8 comes.
Exactly what it smells like.
Not when the 8 comes.
And, you know, I wanted to actually keep them out of the playoffs, but that schedule is just so goddamn easy. It's hard for me to picture Aaron Rodgers missing the playoffs, playing these bad teams with guys like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Mike Williams. He should be able to take this Jets team to the playoffs at least.
I promise.
So, like, you know, but to me, it does smell like crash landing to a degree, though. Like, I had my reservations, but I also feel like they're going to be in the hunt. They're going to be there in the end in the playoffs. And, you know, I don't have them going to the Super Bowl or the championship game, but I still have them making the playoffs. And I think that's a successful season for them.
All right.
I do.
We shall see. All right, let's go back. Let's go into our first game of the season tomorrow night with the Ravens at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are -3. All the talk is about, is this a statement game for Lamar and the Ravens? Mm-hmm. I think that's foolish. It's the first game of the year. And the thing for me is Patrick already has the upper hand. Patrick has Steve Spagnuolo, who's familiar with Lamar. I know what you're thinking.
Either hand is...
He has his returning D coordinator in Spagnuolo, who has that defense playing sharp. Look what they did last year. However, of the quarterbacks they faced in the playoffs, Lamar performed the best against them numbers-wise, because Lamar is like that. Not 17. But the other part of that is like, I think people are underestimating the impact of losing your defensive coordinator. It's a bad spot for the Ravens tomorrow night.
Wow.
That's a bad spot for the Ravens. I'd like the Chiefs here to win this game and cover. Like, I could see this being a 24-20 type of game. 24-17, something like that.
Look, it's definitely a statement game. You got to make a statement, bro. You're 1-3 against this guy. You always lose in the playoffs to Patty Mahomes. This is your guy. This is the Ravens' arch nemesis. When you boil down to all the teams, this is the only team that could really beat the Ravens. They've done it. Mm-hmm. They've done it multiple times. That's why they're the kryptonite. Just same way the Bills are with the Chiefs. It's just what it is. The Chiefs are fucking good. Like, they're just historically good. So there's nothing you could do about that. But yes, it's a statement game. I expect the Ravens to come out and absolutely punch the Kansas City Chiefs in the mouth. If I'm the Ravens, the first fucking 5 plays, I'm giving it to fucking Derrick Henry, and I don't give a rat's ass. I don't give 2 fucks. I'm letting you know what I'm doing. This is exactly our game plan all year. Come stop it. And guess what? By the way, we have our MVP quarterback. He's going to do a belly out, and he's going to run for 40 yards because he could do that, because he's that special of a player to do that and make that kind of play. Or
You talking about the 2-time MVP?
Or he can pick and pock, right? He can literally do a fucking what's it called? Play action. He could do a play action with fucking Derrick Henry, right? And then he can have Mark Andrews in the seam. You know how many times we see Mark Andrews catch a touchdown running a seam route? A million fucking times. It's what they do. But now they're going to be able to do it even more because people are going to have to respect the run even more because you got a fucking animal back there.
They are going to be the hardest.
You don't have Gus Edwards and Keaton Mitchell. Bro, you got a fucking all-pro bull back there. That's a different dynamic. So I expect the Ravens to show up. So who has the edges one is Pat. Pat's better. Pat's like that.
Period.
Pat has Travis Kelce and him. They have a special connection historically. I'm never going against that. Who I got winning this game? I got the Ravens, guys. I got the Ravens, and I hated it. And you know what's funny about that is I had the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs winning this game literally 2 days ago. I was like, you know what? I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I saw a stat that said the Super Bowl winner is 14-5 since 2004 in week 1.
You sound like my
and I was like, damn it. I was like, man, there's no way in hell the Chiefs are going to lose this game. But when you actually think about it, the offseason with the whole
they lost last year to the Lions on opening night.
I know they did. Correct. I'm going to bring that up too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So that was part. Yeah. So they did. They lost last year.
That was just the intro.
And it didn't matter. They know that. They know that this game, whatever they win or lose, it doesn't matter. It does not define your season because last year we lost to the Lions and we still won the bowl. The Ravens, they want to win this game. Why? Because they want to get their lick back. That's why. They've been waiting all year to get their fucking revenge, and they're going to get it. I got the Ravens in this matchup, and I think they win 31-24.
You kind of sound like a Lamar fan,
I'm
bro.
not a Lamar fan.
And you like his 8.
I like the Ravens makeup. There's a difference.
All right.
I don't.
I do want to say this, though.
Lamar.
I do want to say this. I know you don't. The problem is, bro, you hear me, but you don't listen.
No, the problem is that
you're listening now.
No, the problem is that the thing is that I think you get confused with Lamar's greatness along with how great his team is. They both can.
I want to say this. I want to say that's a fair point. I'm with you, but I'm saying I want to go back to what you were saying about that offense. No Gus Edwards and Justice Hills and J.K. Dobbins and shit like that. You got a grown ass man back there, and like you just said, bro, like when you have Lamar back there, the Ravens are going to be the hardest team in the league to game plan for.
Yeah.
Period. And it has not, and it's the backfield that you have with Lamar, an RPO, a play action. That is a nightmare. And like I said before, you're chasing Lamar around for 2-3 quarters, bro. And then you got Derrick Henry and the fuck with inside the 5.
You're gonna be tired as hell. Then you're gonna have to stop a guy like that. Like that's going to be.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it.
They're going to wear teams down. That's what it's going to be.
And I think you made a great point, which I didn't even think of that, but they got the formula now in January. Because let's face it, when Lamar has bad games, most of the time it's in the playoffs when he's trying to throw the ball and just throw the ball and not lean into who he's playing.
Right.
I mean, lean into himself. Now, you ain't got to do that. You have a grown fucking man back there that you can hand the ball to and say, go ahead, big fella.
Derrick Henry took Ryan Tannehill to the 1 seed.
No, he was hurt.
No, I'm talking about a couple of years ago. Tannehill.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got you.
When they were the 1 seed and they beat them, or the Ravens were the 1 seed and they lost to the Titans, right? That was one of the years. But then the next year, the Titans were the 1 seed.
Yes.
And guess what? He took fucking Ryan Tannehill to the goddamn. They went to the 1 seed. They lost in the divisional round, I believe, though, right?
Yeah, I forget who.
I don't think they made the chip that year. I can't recall.
What season was that?
But regardless, he still took Ryan Tannehill to the 1 seed. And I know that was years ago, But this guy, he didn't slow down, man. And if anything, if Tennessee getting rid of him does anything to Derrick Henry, it's only going to make him even more fucking fueled. And that guy, man, look, there's a lot of guys in the NFL that, you look at and you're just like, I want no parts of him. That's the guy. That's the guy you don't really want to fuck with in January because he will run your ass over in the cold.
Let's go to Friday night's game. Packers versus the Eagles. Eagles -2.5 Friday night in Brazil. I just want to say this before we go into this. Why the fucker is the NFL making the Eagles and Packers do this? It's clearly not safe. And Darius Slay went on his podcast, Big Play Slay, and he said it. I'm eating hotel food. I've been told not to come out of my hotel. I told my family not to come down there. AJ Brown said he's not leaving the room. Put your phone away. Don't use your phone in public. Why the fuck would the NFL send them there? I get it. You want to globalize the game, but let's use our brains. You're going to globalize the game and endanger their lives? Seriously, like how fucking stupid is that?
To be honest, it was probably scheduled months and months ago. Maybe last year.
No, I know that, but my thing is if the crime rate is that bad where they're telling you go there, sit in your hotel room, you shouldn't be there.
I agree with you.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that, like, it's logistically, if something's scheduled months or years in advance, it's probably not the easiest thing to just move it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know actually how that would work.
Like
I think it was I think it was about a year it was scheduled. I think we knew last year. So
yeah.
But like I just that pisses me off.
And this Brazil thing has only been like a month old.
Yeah.
See that shocks me that makes you mad because I think as the average consumer of football, even in this Philadelphia region area, right? I think you should be more mad at the fact that the fucking opening game is in Brazil. We deserve it as fans to have an Eagles game, a home game in fucking Philadelphia. We are the home team. Why the fuck would our home team on opening night be across the fucking sea? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. Why? How does that even make any sense? We deserve it as fans. We've been waiting all season to watch the Eagles. The fans couldn't wait to go to the games. And guess what? They have to wait a whole week because you want to have a fucking game in Brazil. This is our fucking sport. That's real shit. So you should be more pissed about that. Fuck all that.
They going to Rio? Is it Rio? Where they going?
Yeah, I think so. I think. I don't even know, to be honest.
Sao Paulo. I don't.
Like, how ridiculous is that? You have your opening game in Brazil. Like, I just don't understand that. I've never seen a fucking European soccer open up their season in fucking Philadelphia. So why the fuck are we doing that? I understand what's for the money, but like, think about the fans. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think about the fans. I think they really fucking dropped the ball on that. I think fans should be more pissed about that. Truthfully, especially season ticket holders as an Eagles fan.
Sao Paulo.
Think about that because the Eagles are a home team.
Yeah.
They would have saw the Packers at the opening game.
Oh, yeah, your home team.
Philly.
And you can't wear green.
Like,
you can't even wear your color jersey.
That shit is crazy,
Well,
man.
You're not allowed to wear green.
Why?
They're not allowed, but they told them not to wear green. And the Eagles, I actually love the colorway they're doing, the white jersey with the black pants and the black helmet.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Because Brazil is green.
They told us not. They told the Eagles not to wear green.
That's fucking stupid.
But they put two green teams there. Packers and the Eagles.
Yeah, I like to me that fires me up because that's our shit, bro. Like you took away from us.
What are you looking? What do you expect from the Eagles in this first game?
I'm expecting a heavy dose of Saquon off the rip. I think they will feed him like the Eagles have never fed a running back before since Shady, actually. I think this will help open up the offense with big plays down the field as well. I think if we get him, involved, we bring the defense up. You have the wide receivers to take shots down the field. They're going to get open. Those guys get separation. AJ Brown gets separation. Devontae Smith gets separation. I'm talking about guys that are all pros at their position. Devontae Smith is a fucking former Heisman winner. Like these guys could ball out. You know what I mean? So the fact that we have a weapon in Saquon, I think we're just going to keep feeding him. And I think when we have our opportunity to go deep and take our chances, I think we're going to do that. And I think we're going to exploit the matchups that we have. And I think the Eagles are going to do really well. I think they're going to be successful at that.
I don't really have anything to add to that. I can't agree more with what you just said. It's going to be a heavy dose of Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon, I got Saquon having like 2 touchdowns.
He's definitely scoring.
Without a doubt.
Unless Jalen Hurts.
Unless they throw a bomb or something. But I mean, I just, for me, I think that I think people are kind of like, I don't want to say sleeping on the Eagles, but everyone I know, Packers are winning this game. Packers are winning that game. Packers this, Packers that. It's like, damn. That's what I was talking about earlier when I said that. But I do think Jalen Hurts is going to put on a show. Because
you think he's going to outperform Jordan Love?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Because for me, Jalen Hurts heard all the talk this offseason too. He knows what's on the line. He can handle pressure. So I just, when I look at that, I'm about it. I also think Jordan Love has a ton of pressure on him. You're the highest paid man in the league. You have to deliver. Every time you lose, they're going to look at you sideways this year. Every single time. Because you know why? You got paid the most money after having 9 good games.
But you know what's funny about that, though, with Jordan Love? Like, I don't want to go make this a Jordan Love thing, but I do, because like the whole thing of him playing so well second half of the season confuses me. They lost to the fucking Giants. They lost to the Bucks.
They beat the Chiefs.
They beat Carolina by 3. Like, it was anything but impressive, except for the stats were good.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, as a team, I just like. To me, the Packers they're a good team. I just think they're being way too overhyped.
Yep.
Like, I understand they got Dontavian Wicks, Luke Musgrave, Dobbs, and all that. I get it, but they're good players. They're not, to me, they haven't been game-breaking players yet.
Yep.
And we haven't seen that. Look, Jaden Reed, I think he could play. I think he's one of those kind of like, a Swiss Army knife kind of guy, like a Curtis Samuel. He could do it all, right? Like, that's kind of how I see Jaden Reed. But like, other than that, like, I just think this team is wildly overrated. I just really do. I'm shocked this point spread is not more than 2.5. I think the Eagles should be favored by at least 3.5, 4. Truthfully, because I think the Eagles are better.
They are better. Like, I agree with you.
The Eagles are just better. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a great game. I think he's going to have about 225 passing yards with maybe a touchdown or 2. He'll have one on the ground, 40 yards on the ground as well. But I got the Eagles winning this game, and I got them heavy. I think everybody, like I said, I think everybody is so high on Green Bay. Look, rightfully so. But like, before that playoff run, they were an average team. And now everybody saw them beat Dallas, and then they just start blowing them. So like, I'm putting the pause on them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not all in on Green Bay, although I think they're going to be a decent team. But I just think the Eagles are just a much better football team than they were last year. And I think the Eagles win here. Truthfully, I think they win 31-17. And I think this game goes unders, because the over-under was 49.5.
I had them 31-21.
31.
So I got overs, but I do have 30. I have 31-21.
2
I got the same thing. Yeah, they put them on.
Yep,
they put it on.
I think they win. I really think they take care of business here. I think Green Bay is going to be good later in the season. Like, they're going to do that.
It's going to take some time.
It'll take some time.
All right, Sunday Night Football, Rams versus the Lions. Lions -3.5. Matt Stafford goes back to his old home in Detroit.
Yep.
Goff goes against his old team in the rematch from the divisional round last year. Do you think that this year we could have a potential rematch in the NFC Championship?
Well, according to my rankings, no. But yes, you very well could. The reason why I had the Rams, out of the playoffs earlier was because I just feel like they always got some injury shit going on. Like, they just have some issues, whether it's Kyron Williams, whether it's going to be Puka, whether it's Stafford, whether it's Kupp, whether it's their offensive line, their best defensive players out. There's always something going on with the Rams. It's hard to really fucking trust, man. When healthy, that team could beat anybody in the NFC. Dead ass. That team, when healthy, can beat anybody in the NFC. I'm telling you, they can. They're that good. The problem I have with them is just their injury concern. Puka already started with his knee. He's questionable. It's like, I don't know what I'm getting at the end of the season, and I'm not really trying to put my rankings on a team that historically gets hurt. And when they lose a good player, that's a big loss, especially in today's NFL. Like, you need good players to win. Every top team has a good core of players to where that carries them and propels them. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're always missing their star here. I'm off them this year. I am. And their schedule's fucking hard. Their schedule's fucking hard too. So like, I'm weary of that. But I love the Lions this year. I'm all in on I'm all in on the Lions. I think the Lions will be there in the NFC Championship game.
So I definitely think we could be watching a preview of the NFC Chip. And I think it would be a great one because you got two loaded offenses. But I agree with you. The problem with the Rams is there's always some like little nagging shit that's going on with somebody.
If they're healthy, bro, I'm telling you, this team could go all the way.
They score 35 a week.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So, but I will say this. My iconic lock of the week is this game. And it's the Rams.
Okay.
The Rams are starting out 1-0. I guarantee you the Rams beat the Lions this week. That is one of my favorite games on the slate.
Really?
Yes. The Rams are winning that game. Guaranteed.
Why?
It's a revenge game. Matt Stafford lost there last year. He comes home. He takes care of business. And I just feel like they get off on the right foot. I do. I just feel like they get off on the right foot.
Rams weapons versus the Lions. Who are you taking? Truthfully. Like, who has the better weapons?
Oh, the Rams. That's not even a question.
Wow. Really?
Cooper Kupp, Puka, Kyron, and Matt Stafford. And they got the better head coach.
Jared Goff.
He's
Jahmyr
like
Gibbs,
that. Yeah.
David Montgomery. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And who? But then there's
Sam Laporta.
But there's no two.
They got a good core, bro.
Oh, well, Montgomery fucking with Blake Corum?
Well, let me ask you a question. Does the Rams have a tight end?
Yeah, Colby Parkinson. He's like that.
God.
He's a rook.
For real. He's not a rookie. He's been in the league since 2020.
He just hasn't.
He's just been ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody just wants to make him a valuable piece because of the
I thought about him in fantasy for $1.
Yeah, because it makes sense. Logically speaking, it makes sense. He's going to get fed because Tyler Higbee did. So if he's going to take his spot, yeah, there you go.
And he could just be halfway
going
decent.
back. You said that really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that you said that so fast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I don't. Do people forget who Cooper Kupp is?
No, but
you of all people.
No, but they have Amon-Ra.
I get it, but like, would you rather have Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra or Cooper Kupp and Puka?
Depends on what offense I'm running.
Offense for offense. You're in your scheme. I'm in my scheme. What scheme do you think would work, or what scheme do you trust more in the heat of the moment?
Personally, I like having the tight end. Pause.
That's fair.
Like, I do, because when I think of guys like Gronk, they are fucking game changers.
But Laporta, it's only his second year, bro.
But they're mismatches.
I know,
right? Like when you got Laporta against a linebacker, bro, he's going to kill that guy every single time.
I don't disagree with you. I'll say that.
And he's a safety blanket for the quarterback, and he's a damn good one. Sam Laporta was being drafted as a tight end number 1 this year in the fantasy leagues. This guy could play.
I don't think you could go wrong with either.
Me either.
I think that's a toss-up.
Puka.
Because that's actually
awesome.
I mean, you made good points there. Like, I actually do see that. I was thinking, when I said that so quickly, I'm thinking wide receiver.
Jahmyr Gibbs or Kyron Williams. Off the top of your head, I'm taking Gibbs.
Off the top of my head, I'm taking Gibbs because I think he's more of a bull. However, he has shown to get nicked up.
Yeah, and I think Kyron slept on too.
I mean, I hope so.
But at the same time, it's like Jared Goff and Stafford. Of course, I'm taking Stafford.
Yeah,
like of course, because he's done it for so long and he's a Super Bowl champion. But let's not minimize what Jared Goff has done.
Jared Goff's
went to a Super Bowl. He's done that though. He went there. Did he win it? No. But you know what? He's gotten there and he's been successful in his NFL career. Whether you say it or not, he's been successful. The stats show it. His record shows it. His accomplishments in the postseason show it. This guy could play quarterback, and I just feel like he gets wildly slept on. So that's why I was asking that, because I thought about that last night when I was kind of writing this shit up. I'm like, damn. I'm like, God, they're kind of similar in terms of their makeup. It's just the wide receiver and tight end flip. It's almost like a fantasy kind of play.
It's their second pass catcher.
It's so funny. Like, yeah.
The difference is the second pass catcher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I got the Rams in this one. I'm going to take the Rams 28-24.
I got the Lions winning this one. I got them 31-24. And, yeah, I had them covering this one, too, as well.
All right, let's get to one of my favorite games of the week, Monday Night Football. Jets at the 49ers. 49ers minus 4.5. Rodgers' first game back off his torn Achilles after 4 plays last season. That sucked bad. What do you expect from Rodgers and the Jets?
I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers. In all seriousness, because, you talked him up all offseason. AR8, he's coming, blah, 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 jet up. I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers and nothing less.
I'm
slick. Dead ass.
You slick.
I'm dead ass.
You slick.
Nothing less.
You're smart.
Nothing
slick.
less.
I'll give you that.
I'm expecting.
That was cute.
No, in all seriousness, I'm expecting 200 yards passing and a touchdown pass. I think Rodgers will start off great in his game because Rodgers, they've been preparing for, the first couple of drives, they're pretty prepared. After that, it's kind of, it's all
game flow.
Correct. It's right. It's game flow. I think their offense is going to sputter at some point in the game. I just don't think they're all the way there yet offensively.
So you don't believe in that hack?
I think in the beginning, no, absolutely not. But in the beginning, yes. I think in the beginning of the game, they're going to have success. Like the first couple of drives, we're like, holy shit, this is the Rodgers that we were expecting. Then I think they're going to sputter. And here's why. The Niners make adjustments. I don't think, when I look at the Jets team, I don't look at that team as like savvy enough to make in-game adjustments to outwit the Niners. I don't see that.
Saleh was the defensive coordinator for Kyle Shanahan.
I don't give a shit. I'm talking about a head coach. You got to make in-game decisions on the fly. You got to make adjustments on the fly, halftime adjustments. I just haven't seen the Jets do it. I know the Niners can do it. And they're home. I think the Niners are going to spank the fuck out of them. Truthfully speaking, I got the Niners winning this game 27-13.
Are you worried about the 49ers having a Super Bowl hangover?
Not at all. They got their money.
You know what the thing is, though? I don't worry about the 49ers having a Super Bowl hangover. I worry about them having an off-season hangover.
That's true.
Brock Purdy was trashing in the preseason. You had John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan having no clue what Ayuk is going to do. Oh, I don't want to be here.
Fair.
All right, we're going to trade you to the Patriots. Oh, I'm not going there. We're going to trade you to the Steelers. Oh, I'm not going there. We're going to trade you to the Browns. I'm not going there. All right, we'll sign this contract. Oh, I don't want it. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You had a loud-ass offseason. A loud-ass offseason. You let Trent Williams sign 2 days before the season, a week before the opener. And I just look at it and I'm like, this team was too fucking noisy. I don't like it. And it's going to be brilliant because Aaron Rodgers is going to come out there and he's going to put feet and paws on them. And Aaron Rodgers is taking home the W.
Okay.
And we're going to start out the season 1-0.
What's the score you got? Just give me the score.
Aaron Rodgers, give me 31-24.
31.
Yeah.
He's going to hang 31 in San Francisco.
Absolutely. And here's even better. And Garrett, he's going to give Garrett 2 of them things in the end zone.
I wouldn't mind that because we have him in fantasy, but I would be
you're rooting for Garrett too.
Yeah. I'm a Garrett Wilson.
He's going to put up 31 on him. I think Aaron Rodgers is coming. Coming.
Like I said, I think they're going to start off hot. I think they're going to score an opening kickoff field goal, or they might get a
I hope so.
touchdown.
I got Greg Zuerlein.
I think they'll score I think they'll score the first points. After that, it's going to be 3 and out. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to have a drive where it looks promising, where you see Aaron Rodgers' talent. How the fuck did he throw that in the tight window? Then they're going to sputter on offense, kick another field goal. That's what's going to happen. That's my prediction. They will pick it up during the season. I do think this team is talented enough to get back on track, and I think they will. It's only week 1. We're going to have a lot of people overreacting too. Is Aaron Rodgers finished? Is Aaron Rodgers done? Did the Jets make a big mistake bringing Rodgers back? And all this is going to happen. That's going to be the narrative heading into week 2. And then I think week 2, they take care of business on whoever they play. But I think this game is a really bad game for them and a bad spot for them.
We'll see.
I got the Niners. You want to put Mozzie sticks on it?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do that.
Absolutely.
Let's run that back.
100% I will. Too. And I want extra marinade.
Yeah, you really jet up.
Oh, I'm all the way jet up. All the way. And when Garrett got 2 of them things and I put feet and paws on Marky ass, it's going to be on.
I like that.
Because I'm going to be 1-0. And I can't wait. Tuesday morning, 1-0's check in.
Check in.
I can't wait. I haven't done it in 4 years.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't done it in 4 years.
Yeah, bro. Last time I was able to check in after week 1, bro, nobody wore a mask.
Bro, that is whoa. For real?
2019.
Hey, yo.
When I was like that.
Hey, yo, that's crazy, dog.
No, I'm coming out. I'm hooping again, though. We're good.
I'm hooping again. It's crazy.
All right, let's go through the slate and then we get out of here. Titans at Bears. Bears -4.5.
This is my iconic lock of the week right here. Give me the Bears money line outright -4.5. I don't give a shit. You can give them -7. They're going to win this game. Bottom line is The funny thing is about this game is that the number 1 quarterback overall that was drafted in his first start, they're 0-14-1. Caleb Williams is like that. He's going to be the first one to get the dub.
I got another upset. I got the Titans winning this game. I think the entire betting world is going to be on the fucking Bears. The entire world is going to bet the Bears. And Will Levis and Calvin Ridley and 2-Yard Tony are going to come out and they're going to put polls on them.
You got to do it, cuz. Tighten up.
Tighten up. Steelers at Falcons. Falcons minus 3.5.
This game scared the living shit out of me. I'm still taking the Falcons because I believe in the talent. I just don't trust Russ. I don't trust Russ. That's my analysis. I don't trust Russ.
All right. So for me on this game, I went back and forth and let's ride. Yes. I got the Steelers going into the Superdome and busting their ass. Or not that's the Superdome. The what dome is it? The fucking Atlanta Falcons. I can't think of what it is. Mercedes-Benz or whatever.
Yeah, Mercedes. Well, no, that's the Saints.
That's the Saints. Whatever. I got the Steelers going in there handling business, and Mike Tomlin starts at 1-0. Georgia Dome. You got Mike Tomlin coaching against Raheem Morris. Raheem. I got the Steelers all day long. Jaguars at Dolphins. Dolphins minus 3.5.
I got the Dolphins money line, but I'll take the Jags with the points. I think the Jags are going to cover. It's going to be a close game.
That's insane to me. Game. I got the Dolphins both ways here. Dolphins laying 3.5 at home to the Jaguars, who are going to be some shit. Is crazy.
Close game.
Jaguars lose this by 10 plus.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Patriots at Bengals. Bengals minus 7.5.
I got Bengals minus 7.5. I just, to me, even this line is still 7.5 with or without Jamar Chase. That's all I really needed to know. This is easy. Bengals.
To be honest, it might be the Bengals minus 7.5 if they were trotting out Jake Browning.
Oh, stop it! No way.
That's how bad the Patriots are. That's how bad they are.
Yeah, they're gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah, their stool's getting pushed in. Texans minus 2.5 at the Colts.
I got the Colts. I got the Colts in the upset here. I think the Texans, like you said earlier, I think they've had a weird all season. Like, it's been really loud. It's been super duper like, oh, the Texans are this, the Texans are that. CJ Stroud's on every single podcast. Like, those kind of things I pay attention to. So when I look at this game, Texans laying 2.5 against the Colts doesn't really make any sense based on the preseason hype, right? Yeah. And the offseason hype. I look at that line. That tells me Vegas thinks there's an opportunity where Colts can steal this game. I think that's true. I think the Colts are going to win this game.
I have the Texans minus the 2.5. I heard an interesting stat today. Do you know Anthony Richardson since high school has only played in 17 football games?
Wow, really? Nice. I have
that is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy, dude. And I almost buy into the hype sometimes too, but I feel like the Colts are just in for. I know Shane Steichen is a good head coach, and I know he did his thing with Gardner Minshew. But the timing, the speed of the game, like he didn't play a lot of ball. He just didn't play a lot of ball. Mm-hmm. And I can't trust him going up against DeMeco and CJ Stroud with that bomb squad of an offense.
I don't think their offense is all that shabby either, though.
It's not, but I don't trust him yet. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Vikings minus 1.5 at the Giants.
I got the Giants money line too. I think the Giants are going to win this football game. It's hard for me to just trust Sam Darnold. Like, I like Darnold. Well, I mean, Darnold. I think he was a good prospect. Like, but it's just, for me, I just feel like the Giants, nobody's going to give them a chance. And I'm going with the Giants on this one. I think they're going to win.
This was a toss-up for me. I'm saying Vikings, but I'll take the Giants with the points. I could see this coming down to like a last-minute field goal in the battle of the buttest.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that. Panthers at Saints. Saints minus 3.5.
I'm going to go with the Saints here, minus 3.5. I just think that the Saints, to me, they're the better football team. They have I just think that Bryce Young, I haven't seen enough to where I can confidently say the Carolina Panthers can win a football game. I just haven't seen it. He hasn't done it enough for me to where I can confidently pick them. And I trust that Derek Carr can beat Bryce Young in this game at home. And I'm going to take the Saints to do so.
Well, here's the thing. You're going to see a Panthers win this Sunday against the Saints, because I think right now I would trust Bryce Young over Derek Carr. I know I trust David Canales over Dennis Allen, who will be the first head coach fired this year because he's some shit. But I think Bryce Young and I think Deontay Johnson get off to a good start. Dave Canales rebirth Baker last year. He made him a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. He threw for 28 touchdowns, 10 picks, and 4,000 yards.
Yeah, but he coached a different player.
I get it. I get it.
Different spirit, different animal, different mentality. We don't know Bryce.
I know, but I think Bryce and Deontay Johnson are going to be like that this year. I really do. And the Panthers start out 1-0, and the Saints start their horrific year at 0-1, and they may have the worst schedule in the league, the worst record in the league.
That would be great for them because they could use the pick to go get a quarterback.
Correct. But also, I also think there's a chance Carr gets benched and Spentler Rattler comes in. And if Spentler Rattler can show something,
yeah,
you might have an out.
He had some buzz in the preseason.
That's what I'm saying. So Cardinals at Bills -6.5.
I hate to have to do this. I'm sorry, JA17, brother, but I had this game circled as soon as it came out. The Cardinals are going to win this football game, and that's just the bottom line. This is my psychotic upset of the week. The Cardinals will beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. The Cardinals had a great offseason, in my opinion. They added Marvin Harrison Jr. I like Michael Wilson. I like Greg Dortch. I love Trey McBride. They got James Conner. They drafted Trey Benson. Kyler Murray's healthy. That team played for Gannon last year. They played hard for him. They're gonna travel across this country, and they're gonna want to take a win from this Bills team. Nobody's giving them a chance. This is one of the biggest lines of the weekend. I think this is one of the biggest steals of the weekend, and I love the Cardinals. I think this is upset written all over it. I think the Bills are going to start 0-1, and I think the Cardinals are going to take the dub here.
So, oh my God.
I'm just bottom lining it. I had it all. In fairness, I kept my energy.
You did keep your energy. I'll give you that. KYE. It's the Bills. It's the Bills, and it's -6.5. When you got a player like Josh Allen, number 17, JA17, you got to beat Kyler Murray and Jonathan Gannon. You got to do that. Now, I think the Bills, I'm not that high on the Cardinals this year. I hope this game's a fucking shootout because I need Kincaid to score some tutties, and I need Marvin Harrison Jr. too. But no, I got the Bills both ways. I just think it's too tall of a task for the Cardinals. Raiders at Chargers. Chargers -3.
I got the Raiders money line here. I think the Chargers, I just feel like a brand new coach, brand new system. Justin Herbert's best attributes are when he's throwing in the pocket. When you don't have a wide receiver 1 or a certified wide receiver 1, your life is going to be a lot harder than it needed to be. And you don't have a certified running back. You don't have a certified star on the outside. I think life for Herbert is going to be really difficult for him this year. I really do. I think they're going to transition to be a little bit more balanced of a team, running the football a lot more, instead of, having Herbert throw for 40 times a game, right? Like, I think, damn, yo.
He just lifted his leg up and fucking blew ass.
Yo, that shit was crazy. If I was in the zone. So, what were we talking about?
My bad.
I forget, dude.
What's it called? Fuck, man. What the fuck were we talking about? We were talking about Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that you need a wide receiver 1 to combat whatever you're going against. And when you don't have that worries me. I think Gardner Minshew could play. I think Gardner Minshew could score points. I think he can outscore Justin Herbert in his ball game, especially when he has Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, and who's our running back? Is Amir what? Mir.
I got the Chargers, but I got the Raiders with the points. I think this is going to be like, I think it's going to not like a slugfest because they're not that. I don't think they're going to be that physical. Well, no, with Harbaugh's style, now it's going to be pretty physical. And Antonio Pierce, so I'll retract that a little bit. I think it's going to be physical. I could see somebody winning this game like 2017, 17-14. That's exactly the type of games. And I think those are the type of games that Jim Harbaugh wants to be in.
Sure, absolutely.
Although it's hard because Justin Herbert, over his career hasn't performed well in those close games. So we will see on that. But I got the Chargers and the Raiders with the points. Broncos at Seahawks. Seahawks -5.5.
I'm going to go Seattle here, -5.5.
Seattle.
To me, they're interesting because they do have a lot of weapons. Although I'm down on them this year, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. But I think their offense is going to be really something interesting. Like I think Sam Howell is going to start eventually.
How?
But I like their wide receivers. They have the weapons to really be explosive, and I like their offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. I think he's going to be a difference maker for them on offense. I just don't love them defensively, and I think they're in a hard division, so that's why I was out on them. But overall, I think they're going to win this game. I'm not in on the Broncos at all.
I got the Seahawks both ways here. You have Matt McDonald, who led the best defense in the league last year, going up against a rookie quarterback. He's going to throw so much shit at him and confuse the fuck out of him. I think this is on blowout alert.
Wow.
Blowout.
Yeah, I don't love the Broncos in this matchup, truthfully.
Cowboys at Browns. Browns -2.5.
But what I do love is I love the Cowboys in this one. I think the Cowboys getting 2.5 is a slap in the face to them. I think this is all predicated on the offseason that they had with CD getting his money and Dak not getting his money. I think there's something there to that to lead with the Browns being favored. I just don't see how the fuck the Browns are favored. There's no way in hell I see Deshaun Watson ever outdoing a Dak Prescott. Not today.
Give me the brown and orange 4.
Not today. Not today. Maybe in back his Houston days, yes, you can 100% say Deshaun Watson could do that. But right now, the last couple of years, you said it yourself, I haven't seen shit from Deshaun Watson. So there's no way in hell that Dak was an MVP candidate last year that I think that Deshaun Watson should be favored over a guy like that. Absolutely not. I think this line is insane. I think this line is wrong. I think Vegas got it wrong. I love the Cowboys here.
All right. In Deshaun, I believe. I got the Browns -2.5.
You don't keep your fucking energy. You hate Deshaun Watson.
Listen to me. Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know this is your show. You're the managing member. I'm back up.
You're an idiot.
That's how I was introduced at the fantasy draft. That killed me with Jay. That was funny as hell, though.
Did I respond?
Anyway.
As a friend, did I laugh? Did I respond or anything like that?
Probably.
You would have laughed, though, because you like to laughing at me. Yeah,
I know. Here we go.
I'm here to support you and big you up anytime you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Support my balls.
I do. I really do.
Yes, support my balls. So I got the Browns -2.5 here. I think it's the opposite. I was talking to Tom about this game, and I kept saying, I'm like, yo, I feel like everybody's betting the Cowboys. And he's like, fuck no, dude. Why are the Browns -2.5? Deshaun Watson's not good. You got Dak and CD and Rico. Thanks, Rico. You got him coming back. And I look at that and I'm like, how are the Browns favored? Like when Tom said it like that, I'm like, damn, I understand that. That's tricky. The Browns shouldn't be favored in this game. The Browns shouldn't be favored in this game, bro.
I agree with you. That's why I'm gonna bet on Dak Prescott can get a win.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
That's foolish though. In playoffs is different. Regular season, I know he can win.
Last one before we get out of here. You're growing. Commanders, pause. Commanders at Buccaneers. Buccaneers -3.5.
I got the Bucs money line. Tampa is 10-5 against rookie quarterbacks on their Todd Bowles. They're home here. It's a bad spot for the Commanders to be on the road here. I think the Bucs win.
I got the same thing. The Big Show and the Bucs start out 1-0, get a season off on a good foot. I would love for the Commanders if they could pull one out here. But the thing is like you said, with Todd Bowles, a rookie quarterback,
bad matchup.
It's not a good start for Jaden Daniels. If he goes out there and wins, that would be awesome. That would be a great start for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Great start. Statement win. So,
I mean, your prediction would look really, really good because I feel like they have to win.
They have to get these.
They got to, like games like where they're on the fence, where they're like, yo, I think they could win, but I'm like on the other team a little bit.
Where it's 51-49, they need to get it up.
Or 60-40 or
something like that.
I feel like, so I'm with you, but I like the Bucs there.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
I got to be honest with you, bro. Before we got the all of our picks were pretty much different.
I know.
Except for the Bucs, the Seahawks, the
Chargers. No, you had the
Bengals. We only agreed on 4 games.
So one of us is starting out really bad.
One of us is going to get our dick kicked in.
It's probably going to be you.
That's crazy.
Regular. But everybody, thank you for tuning in to episode 214. As you can see, our Wednesdays are back. Thank you guys for watching us. We'll be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher,
and all that other shit.
Also, follow us on all of our social platforms as you do not want to miss our daily content on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all that other shit. everybody that's watching it right now, please enjoy week 1 in the NFL season. Kick back, smoke a blunt, have some wings, eat some pizza, go get laid, go do something. You know what I mean? Go have fun in week 1. Go enjoy it. And we will see you guys next week at P&I, baby. Peace.
I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinnage. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my